I was a wedding photographer for 7 years. The bride who tried to pay me an exposure ended up making me famous when her sister posted our text exchange. Online Parentine, turning my small business into a 6-figure brand and landing me on Good Morning America discussing creative professionals' right to fair compensation. The initial request seemed normal. Madison wanted photography for her destination wedding in Tulum. Parent, 8 hours of coverage, edited images, and engagement session. But when I sent over my standard contract with pricing $3,200 plus travel, things took a turn. I thought we discussed that this would be a collaboration, she wrote. I have 5,000 Instagram followers and my fiancé is friends with several wedding bloggers. The exposure from this would be worth far more than your fee. I politely explained that while I appreciated her online presence, exposure doesn't pay my mortgage. I offered a modest 10% discount as a courtesy, but maintained that professional photography requires professional compensation. Her response was a masterclass in entitlement. I'm actually doing you a favor. Do you know how many photographers would kill for this opportunity? My last 2 vacations were compenned entirely because of my influence. This is a limited time offer. Party, take it or leave it. I left it wishing her well and recommending several student photographers who might fit her budget better. I thought that was the end of it. 3 days later, my phone started buzzing nonstop with Instagram notifications. Madison's sister had shared our entire text exchange on Twitter, adding, "My entitled sister tried to scam a local photographer." The photographer's response was chef's kiss. The post exploded overnight. Creative professionals from graphic designers to musicians shared similar stories of clients requesting free work. Wedding industry accounts reposted it as a cautionary tale by morning. It had over 200,000 likes. What caught people's attention wasn't just Madison's audacity. Parent, it was my calm professional responses. I hadn't named, called, or been rude. I'd simply stood firm on my value while offering alternatives. A wedding blog reached out for an interview about the exposure economy faced by vendors, then a past, then a morning show segment. Each time I focused not on shaming countries, but on educating clients about the real cost behind creative services. My calendar filled with bookings from couples who specifically mentioned appreciating my professionalism. Other photographers asked to shadow me. A camera company offered a sponsorship deal. I launched workshops on business practices for creative professionals that sold out in hours. 6 months later, I received an unexpected email from Madison. "You probably hate me," it began, "but I wanted to apologize. I was trying to save money anywhere I could and didn't think about how my request affected you." The photographer we hired ended up delivering only half the promised images 2 months late. I should have respected your work enough to pay for it. I didn't respond publicly, but I did thank her privately for the apology. I also sent her sister a gift basket. Parent, after all, her decision to share our exchange had transformed my career. Last week, I photographed my 300th wedding for a couple who found me through that viral post. Before the reception, the bride's father pulled me aside. "My daughter insisted on booking you specifically," he said. "She told me, Dad, this is someone who knows her worth. As a father, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that example for her." Sometimes the clients who waste your time end up being the most valuable part, just not in the way they intended. The exposure I received wasn't from Madison's Instagram followers, but from millions of people who recognize that creative work deserves fair compensation. The irony isn't lost on me that the bride who refused to pay me ended up being my most profitable client ever, parent, by showing the world exactly what not to do.